Thank you to all the attendees joining us today. I would request my team to start playing the video.
The last 2 decades, we experienced the rise of Chinese photovoltaic companies and the transformation of LONGi from a pathfinder and an inventor of technology to an industry leader. LONGi was established in 2000 and changed the game rules of the industry by promoting monocrystalline modules in 2015. In 2016, LONGi's mono-PERC technology brought the industry into an era of high efficiency and low LID. In 2017, LONGi's bifacial PERC technology increases remarkable module power output with rare side irradiation. In 2019, M6 silicon wafers led the PV industry to an era of 450 watt ultra high power. With strong innovations, LONGi has made numerous achievements like 24.06% efficiency of monocrystalline PERC cell, the highest production of bifacial monocrystalline modules in the world, continuous technology advances and LCOE optimization. Now, LONGi is about to set off another advancement in the industry once again. The latest LONGi high Mo5 modules with optimized LCOE, especially designed for large-scale PV stations, are now available. The power output of high Mo5 is up to 540 watts, with over 21% efficiency. The optimal size of the high Mo5 module, coupled with sophisticated construction, can reduce costs while increasing power generation. As seen in the PV station in Zhoushuan, China, high Mo5 can significantly lower labor, land, and BOS costs and reduce LCOE. Also, the application of high Mo5 in Qatar has proved to be a remarkable improvement in cost reduction. The advanced technology of the high Mo5 leads to optimal LCOE, which is the result of LONGi's exploration of every detail of functionality. New M10 gallium-doped silicon wafer can reduce the linear power degradation to 0.45% per year. Compared with the traditional welding technology, LONGi's smart soldering technology reduces the tensile strength of the cell by 20%, by reducing the distance between cells by 2/3. This technology achieved a 0.3% improvement in module efficiency. High Mo5 follows a mature and reliable design path, framed, tempered glass on both sides to ensure the load capacity of the modules, with no crossbeam on the back to the module that blocks reflected light to ensure continuous and efficient power output. In practical applications, the size of high Mo5 is suitable for the main 1-portrait and 2-portrait horizontal single-axis tracking system. At the same time, it is perfectly compatible with the next generation inverters. The working current, including 15% bifacial gain, is kept within 15 amps, without the loss of current generation. Standardization, perfect adaptation, cost optimization, and high efficiency leads to optimized LCOE that enables high Mo5 to be one of the most valuable products on the market. The high volume production of high Mo5 is ready. By first quarter of 2021, global supply is expected to reach 13.5 gigawatts. The new high Mo5 joins the LONGi high Mo family, bringing in a new PV era with ultra-high value.
Hello and very good morning. Hi, I am Priyanshi here, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Solar Quarter and First Year Group to our virtual event on Digital Roundtable of Solar Project Leaders of Egypt. Lessons from the top. In the event today, we will discuss Egypt's solar mission, key challenges and opportunities in the PV segment, technology advancements, and investors' perspective in commercial, industrial, residential, and utility space. I would like to thank our sponsor, Longi Solar, for joining us today. So let's begin with our techno-commercial presentation by Mr. Felix Yu, who is the country head MENA, Longi Solar.
Thank you, Priyan. Thank you for your kind introduction. So thank you all the audience. So may I share my screen, please? Okay. So hello, everybody. Good morning to you. This is Felix from Longi. So I will have a short introduction about Longi company to you first. Okay. So my presentation today is talking about the supply selection criteria, where we have highlighted capacity, quality, and also bankability as the three most important elements. Okay, so firstly, the short introduction about Longi company. So here we share a few key figures about our company in last year. So total operating income is 8.4 billion, and we have made R&D investment is about 4 million. So Longi total have around 6,000 employees globally, and we have been highlighted as a China 500 companies and also top 50 new China 50 companies. So here is a history about Longi. So as you can see that Longi started into the semiconductor industry in the year 2000, and then we entered into the solar industry in the year 2005. And in the year 2014, we were already the world's largest mono wafer manufacturer, and we started entering into the solar cells and the module business by acquiring on a module company. So Longi has utilized our technology advantage by being the most valuable PV manufacturer. And in the year 2019, Longi has also launched new standard, the M6 wafer, and also the M10 wafer in 2020 last year. And the last year, also Longi has joined the RE100, EVA100, and also EP100 initiative to promote the green energy consumption. And earlier this year, Longi has also established a hydrogen division so as to promote wider use of the solar energy. So as you can see that Longi's each milestone has accelerated the industry development. So the reason why Longi has a so quick development is because we always put innovation into our DNA, and this will create the values to the customers. So if you look at this drawing here, the market share of the monocrystalline silicon modules has increased from only 18% in the year 2015, gradually to 56% in 2018, and by last year, there was already 90%. So now you can almost hear no poly modules in the market. So here we'd like to share with you the figure about the Longi's R&D investment. So as you can see that from the year 2012 up to last year, every year our R&D expenditures have been increasing all the time, and the R&D ratio out of the total sales revenue is about between 4.9% up to 7% over the years. So LONGi has been cooperating with all the major universities and also the third-party institutes to achieve the world record of the solar cells and model efficiency. Okay, so here is the future about LONGi. So LONGi is adopting the sustainable development strategy. That's why I have joined the RE100, EV100, and also EP100. So from our production, LONGi has already started using clean energy in manufacturing before 2020. And we believe that in the next 30 years, the renewable energy will become the only energy which is able to satisfy the global demand. And by the year 2050, the Earth can enter into the carbon negative mode. So that is LONGi's long-term visions. Okay, so now I'd like to introduce about 3 elements about LONGi. First one is capacity. So LONGi has been the world's largest mono-wafer manufacturer since the year 2012. And in financial year 2020, LONGi total wafer shipment is 58 gigawatt. And our wafer capacity has already reached 85 gigawatt. So this year we're going to sell more. In the solar modules, last year, LONGi becomes the first solar technology company to ship more than 20 gigawatt modules in 1 year. So actually the number is 24.53 gigawatt module shipment, only mono PERC modules last year. And we also have reached 50 gigawatt module capacity by end of last year. So as you can see that our factories are mainly located in China, but also we have factories in Vietnam and also Malaysia, which is catering to the US market demand. So we have a local sales center in Shanghai, it's the international market office, and also regional office in all parts of the world. So here is the capacity expansion plan in the past years. And you can see that LONGi is the #1 in the module shipment last year, surpassing all the other companies in the industry. The second point, quality. So here is some of the third-party reports, but TUV, RETC, PVER, and PV magazine. So we'd like to say that LONGi has been the top performer in the RETC and also in the PVER, the top performer, the only company that has got the most highest performance in the last 4 years. And also here, we'd like to share one example of LONGi's quality philosophy, where we combine the efficiency, cost, and reliability, so that we use a smart sorting technology in LONGi's HAMR 5 modules. So you can see that we have considered the ribbon, mechanical strength, and also the sorting possibility in the production. And also in the end, we have achieved the high efficiency, but with a moderate cost, and with also guaranteed reliability. Third point, bendability. The LONGi company has very, very much good financial health, because we believe that we have to ensure the risks should be less for the customers. So you can see that in the Bloomberg New Energy Finance report, LONGi's element Z scores is the highest, which means LONGi's financial situation is the best in the industry, which can guarantee long-term service to the customers. So we are also the largest tier 1 company in the Bloomberg, and also the 100% bankable brand by Bloomberg. And also LONGi is the only and the first and only AAA bankability brand by third-party PV Model Tech bankability ratings. The first point I'd just like to introduce about LONGi products to you. So just now, I think you have also seen LONGi's HAMR 5 module. So actually LONGi have HAMR 4 and HAMR 5, 2 range of the modules. So we have a wide range of products to satisfy different application scenarios. And also both monofacial and bifacial are available. So you can see our module efficiency has reached up to 21.5% with our HEM 5 modules. So what's next? So here we'd like to also share a little bit more insight into LONGi's new product. So here you can see that our new product is broken many world records for the solar cell efficiency. The highest one is 25.26 with HGT solar cell. Okay, so this is our HEM modules. So the two highlights of the HEM is that firstly is the N-type TOPCon modules. And the second point is that the module power beam can reach up to 570 watt. So the module efficiency can be 22.3%. So we believe that this new product could be the best utility power plant solution so that it can have the lowest LCOE and the best value for the customers. Okay, so a short summary about the points, top 5 reasons why to choose LONGi. The largest manufacturer of the modules with 50 gigawatt capacity. The second point is the high quality and reliability as per IETC and PVER. And the third point that is the first and only AAA Bendability PV module manufacturer. The first point is that we have wide range of products to satisfy different applications. And the fifth point is that we also have the next generation N-type TOPCon for the future utility projects. So LONGi's aim is to become your preferred partner so that we provide you the solutions which can provide the most value to you. So as a short conclusion, I'd like to also share LONGi projects in Egypt. So here, the first one is the utility projects, which is 390 megawatt ground-mounted solar plants in the Benben Solar Park, Egypt. So you can see that it's using 100% the bifacial modules here. And also, we have local partners who is our distributors, Meridian and Zadali, locally to help the solar pumping business over there. So this is my introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Felix.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. So now let's just start with the panel discussion. And session experts who has joined us today are Mr. Felix Hu, who is the country head MENA LONGi Solar, Mr. Ahmed, who is the chairman and CEO of SolarSol EG and EJB Energy Committee head, Mr. Yasin Korayam, who is the general manager O&M Egypt, Total Iran, Mr. Mohammed Fayyad, who is the sales manager Mashreq for Energy System, Mr. Ahmed Gandol, who is the chairman, Sunway Egypt, Mr. Karim Mekharbi, who is the executive director, EPDA, and also the session chair for the day. So I would like to hand over the session to Karim sir to take the discussion ahead with other speakers.
Thank you very much, Priyanshi, and thank you for the kind introduction. And good afternoon or good morning, everyone. So I'm very glad to be here with everyone today, and we're going to have this discussion about the development of renewable energy and probably more generally of the energy in Egypt. And it would be great to have the insights on the ground and contribute to the development of this sector in the country. So maybe as a short introduction, I can just put together the background of the discussion, and then we can start with an introduction, and then with the flow we can see questions and answers, and see how it's going. So as a first introduction, as a background, I would say that today Egypt is as an energy mix mostly based on gas. That's what we have today in Egypt. And in the past years, there have been great developments, in particular of solar, but also in wind. And we saw I guess, one of the largest solar park in the world with 4 gigawatts, which is the Bendability project. And it was split into different, within the same site, it was split within different projects. So you do have a lot of IPPs, which are independent power producers, international power producers, and also local investors. And you had the international banks very active in the country, IFC and EBRD in particular, and they have been financing billions in the country for the development of solar. Now we heard recently also that the sector slowed down a little bit, and at the same time you had a lot of rooftop projects. But we saw also in the news that many PPAs and agreements were also signed for new projects, which are very large, even 500 megawatts in wind, solar, and so on. So it would be great to understand, especially in the context where we are seeing the energy transition moving forward. So it's not yet there, but we can see signs everywhere, and with almost carbon tax being discussed and the oil demand decreasing and so on. I guess a country like Egypt for sure has, we try to diversify its economy and its mix in the coming years. So we'll probably see again boom, depending on also the grid infrastructure and all these different challenges to integrate intermittency in the grid. So, sorry. So it would be great to have you inside. So I just, start maybe as I see in the order of my screen. So Felix, who you already made the introduction, so now everybody knows you. So, Ayman, maybe short introduction about yourself and what you do in your business in Egypt.
Hi Karim, how are you? Hello everyone. Hi Felix and Asim and everyone. Solar Sol established in 2014, and we are working in 2 line of businesses. One is the solar rooftops, and we've been very active under 500 kilowatts until last years. Last couple of years we entered the megawatt projects, and we have many megawatt projects with variety of footprint of market segments. That's very good. And if you go double check the new Renewable Energy Authority website and the utility website, you're going to find all the last over 500 kilos is Solar Sol. So now we can name ourselves, we are one of the top, not the top, one of the top 10 in rooftops. Also, we are the only manufacturing for all-in-one solar lights in Egypt, and I think in the region, MENA region. And we are the supplier number 1 for solar lights. Our factory in New Cairo, in the factories area, industrial area. And we are very active in making the new cities and new compounds, new complexes for the real estate developers. Our new business will be introduced soon is for e-cars chargers. We have new know-how, will be booming in Egypt for e-cars chargers. It will help this industry to boom and boost, especially it align with governmental policies to increase the e-cars in the next years. So this is Solar Sol, and I am so happy that I'm attending this conference with you guys.
Great, thanks. Well, incredible adventure. Congratulations for all this, success. So I think we'll have plenty of things to discuss. Assem, Asem, you know, you're kind of my colleague, right?
Yes,
So,
ex-colleagues in Access Power. Hello, Karim. How are you
so
doing?
yeah, good. So just maybe a short introduction, and you know, just tell us what you're doing.
Yes, but first of all, I'd like to welcome Engineer Ayman Rasif because he's a very good person and has a very wide experience in the field of solar in Egypt. Also, I'd like to thank Mr. Felix for inviting us for this event and organizing it. In a very nutshell, I'm Asim Kuraim, the General Manager for Operational Maintenance in Total Eren, responsible for 2 by 50 megawatt AC solar power plants in Bamban, the largest solar complex in the world. Besides, I'm the General Secretary for Bamban Solar Developer Association, which is an NGO aiming to liaise and coordinate between 31 developers in Bamban and external stakeholders like the EETC, which is our off-taker under the PPA, and with the lenders under the common term agreement, and with the local community regarding the CSR, the corporate social responsibility activities from the SPVs or the 31 SPVs working in Bamban and the local community in Bamban town. This is in a very nutshell.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you, Asem. Well, I want to know how it is going at the plant. Is it working well or not? You will tell us everything.
Yes, very fine. And I believe we are in tier 1 from the invoices value, from the availability, from everything. Everything is very fine, thanks to my great team on site. You are welcome to join or to visit us anytime, Karim, for sure.
Cool. Okay, Mohammed, Fayed, just the same, if you can introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hello, everyone. This is Mohammed Fayyad from Montreal for Energy Systems. I'm the sales director for the company. About Montreal established in 2016 with the main focus for the solar energy. From 2016 up till now, Montreal has positioned itself as one of the key leaders for the solar industry as EPC contractor. We are having a good footprint for solar pumping area. This is one of our main values in the solar energy market in Egypt. Besides that, we are having our utility scale and rooftop experience working with the major stakeholders in Egypt. Hopefully, this roundtable will help us all to get engaged more about business and the new solutions in Longi, how to support each other, and how to reach more posting for our business, everyone.
Thank you very much,
This is a
Mohammed.
little fast introduction compared to your introduction, but I don't like to go more into introducing about myself or the company. I believe it's already well known, so let's go more fast for the business points.
Okay, just actually on the utility scale, have you've been a subcontractor or directly EPC?
Yes. We are having this subcontracting for major contractors working in Egypt, like Sterling and Wilson, like Onera, like all of these major stakeholders in Egypt. We are a sole partner for them.
So you worked on the Benban project also, right?
Yes. We are having some part with Sterling, yes.
Okay. And which part exactly do you do in the subcontracting? Mohammed?
Excuse me?
No.
Yes,
which part do you do in the subcontracting? Are you specialized in specific portion or?
Currently, we are having some main projects in the new capital. If you know about new capital in Egypt, we are having so many projects in Egypt because of the new capital is encouraging the renewable energy for all the buildings there. for all the compounds. We are doing it closely with major contractors, construction contractors like Arab contractors and Orascom, all of these main contractors, Shams and other main contractors playing in this new capital area, new capital city. We are doing this business with them. We are trying to find our footprint there. Behind that, we already did some big projects or major projects by ourselves, direct to the government, like electricity authority in Upper Egypt and Aswan. Several projects like that for the on-grid projects. Our company already did it during the past 5 years and working on it.
Okay, thank you, Ahmed. So, Ahmed, also Gandour, hi. Just if you can introduce yourself and your company, what you're doing.
I am Ahmed Gandour, chairman and chief.
We cannot hear you properly.
Yes,
You need to speak louder, or I don't know, microphone, or because we cannot hear you.
I can take the voice is good now.
Yeah, all good.
Okay.
Ahmed sir, you have logged in from 2 other devices, yes. I guess.
What?
Sir, have you logged
Sunway
in from
Egypt.
some other devices as well?
Yes. I enter the meeting from many devices, my PC and my phone and another phone. Who's that? The voice is confused. Okay, so it's good. I will start.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. I'm Ahmed Gandour, chairman of Sunway Egypt. We established our company in 2014. We especially work in the pumping system in agriculture, especially in Upper Egypt. We work also on rooftop and on-grid system, which connected with the grid with the net metering system from the Egyptian authorities of renewable electricity. We working also in many different sectors as we committed to plan and design and develop and install and maintain the all type of solar project as a medium or small or even large project in the desert. We have approximately about 2 mega per quarter to do in some project of our. I don't want to take more time to introduction, and I go to direct to the point of the meeting. If any question, you can reply.
Okay, super, great. No, it's very good. Okay, so let's start with few questions. Maybe Ayman, so you've been doing great this last years, and I don't know why I heard that there was some up and down actually in the market in Egypt, but it seems that it's going great. What can you tell us more about, you know, what are why actually it's developing so much? How do you see the market in the rooftop space? Is the government willing to have all the new buildings or existing buildings with solar systems? And what are, as per your knowledge, the key drivers of this growth in Egypt?
Thank you, Karim. Actually, the slowdown is related to all the business all over the world because of COVID-19, not only solar industry. This is my opinion. On the other hand, I can see the solar business is the best business all over even the food. The food business is slowing down, the medical shortage in anything. So the COVID-19 is force majeure affecting all the business industry. And raw materials is doubling up like being crazy. So some contracts have been signed already. You need to talk with the clients, amend some prices and terms and conditions. All raw materials going up, you know. Steel doubled up in the last 5 months. Also aluminum. You know, the PV cells also, because of the factory of the glass, what happened in China. The shipping, 140 feet container from 2,000, from 2,000 to 3,000 maximum to 10, 11,000 from China. So that's crazy. But fortunately, the solar industry still stands on a very solid ground in Egypt, and I can see the market didn't begin yet, didn't start yet. The market it has a lot of potentials. When they cut the ribbon in 2014, they assigned 300 megawatt for rooftops. We didn't get the 50% of it till now. So the first target. So we're still in the first target. No, nothing happened. Some rumors and some, intentions or wrong plans in the last year. They announced that will be a sun tax for the on-grid. But there is misunderstanding happening in the market and for some clients because sun tax will not be applied unless we finish the first target of the 300 megawatts. So the 300 megawatt didn't come yet. Let's talk about it. We're still struggling. Like over 400 companies in the market didn't achieve 150 mega till now. So
And
when we finish the 300 mega, let's talk about
it. Do you think, because at the end of the day, solar rooftop is about, I guess you have a net metering system. So you have to be at a cost which is lower than the distribution cost, right? The price that consumers they pay at the end of the day. So even if you need some support from the government because you cannot achieve this lower price today, that could be one of the major problems. So I have no idea actually about the current prices that you can reach. Is it are you below or are you going to be below? Yeah, Ahmed, we cannot hear you.
Actually,
can anyone is not talking? Karim makes mute for his microphone, please.
Ahmed, can you mute yourself? Can you mute your microphone? Yeah. Okay, Ahmed. Okay,
thanks, Karim. Actually, till now, the feasibility is the same. It's going better. The payback period for the solar is in Egypt 4 to 5 years, if full 100% equity. But like you said and mentioned, fortunately, EBRD and IFC supporting, especially EBRD supporting so much the Egyptian solar industry. So there is no investments you need to do. They pay the upfront cost and you only committed to their installments, and they give you grant, non-refundable grant of the total premium of the contract. So they are helping investors so much. Also, the government, of course, the solar is better for any client, but the government can't raise the tariff for electricity consumption utility price more than that. Because now we are the highest, I think, or the average. Now it's the full subsidies have been taken out, I think, or at least by 90%. So they have nothing to do more. We are waiting for better decreasing in the PV cells, because PV cells also going like crazy. Mono, and Felix can witness that, from 20 cents to 25 cents and 26 cents. That's crazy. That's 30% overprice, and still you're adding the difference in shipping, and all that multiplying by the tax added value in Egypt is 14%, and also 1% for revenue tax, so 15%. Suppose that there is no customs, zero customs for the PV cells, but you need to do more for the. This is the role of Felix and the PV players in the global market to find the solution, getting the prices down.
Thanks, Ahmed. I think Felix, you may want to say something, because everybody is, waiting for your answer. What's the situation and when it's going to improve actually in the coming months?
Okay, so thank you so much for dropping out this question. So I think Mr. Ahmed has just introduced our background very well. That is because of the COVID-19 since last year. So this total supply chain of the PV industry got dramatic change. So firstly, last year in the second half, because of the demand peak, and then the polysilicon supply is not enough, so that the cost increased so much. Like I think increased from 60 RMB into, I think into last month is around 220 RMB per kilo. So which is around.
Where do you get the polysilicon? I mean, is it the situation for all polysilicon suppliers, or
yes,
only?
Yes. And this is added to the current situation of the shipping cost, which has increased like from 2,000 into around 10,000 per containers. And also regarding the other raw materials like the silver paste. Anyway, I think the question which all the industry players are keen to know is that when the model price could be reduced or could be stable. So I'd like to say that currently the raw materials price or the cost is very much stable now. So what we say that this year in the second half, the price would already be stable. And in next year, 2022, the price will be much better than this year because of the supply of the raw materials, and also the model capacity will also be increased from all the big ones. So the total supply situation will be much better. So I would say that 2022 is the good year ahead in front of us. So we still have just one quarter in front of us where we might need to, let's say, change the schedule of the projects. For example, maybe if you need to commission the project in Q4, maybe you can delay a little bit into Q1. So from Longi's point of view, as the largest manufacturer, we also, in this kind of situation, it's always difficult for us because we also need to buy the raw material from our suppliers. But what we do is that we will share this market insight with our customer in advance so that they can be aware about the situation and make the preparations in advance. So I think this is the right way to do. And in the end, all the industry players can benefit from the stable market situations.
Felix, I saw some basically, some documents from the industry showing kind of a roadmap even until 2030 in terms of efficiency and thickness of the cells and so on. I mean, do you see this situation? I guess what's the objective at the end of the day? Are you trying to minimize the quantity of raw material that you're going to use in the future, or is it more efficiency, or do you see the price stabilizing, or is there also a roadmap to continuing to improve that, even until 2030?
Okay. So I think first point where all the industry players is putting focus, especially Longi, is putting our focus into the R&D, which means that we always try to find the best technology. So that's why in the past 6 years, every year we launch a new product from HAMR 1 into HAMR 5. And this year we launched HAMR N, which is the N-type technology. Always be careful that when a new technology comes into industry, it takes time for the supply chain to get used to it, because for a new technology, you need to buy new equipment, and also the industry, you said, wafer thickness it's not as thinner as the better, because thinner wafers will also be very much fragile to breakage. So you need to find a balance between the two. But the ultimate aim of this R&D work is to find the best, is to find as higher motor efficiency as possible, but the cost is within control. So this is why we always try to find a balance between the two. And regarding the question about the motor technology, currently it's the monopoc is the mainstream technology, and we believe that with the high-end technology coming, after 2 years, the N-type motors will be very much popular. And after that, I think there will also be other new technology like HJT or even other MWT or ABC technology, but it's all depends on the LCOE part. So from our side, we are very much open, and we think that there will be new technology coming, and LONGi will be very much into it.
Thank you. So Mohammed, tell us a little bit how you see the market in Egypt. So I understand that you're very much involved in the rooftop and also solar system, solar pumps and so on. I mean, tell us more about your core activities and what you see, where you see the market going in Egypt.
Let me to make it more clear. I will share some slides about our market insights.
Yeah, great.
I will share my screen if it's possible.
Priyanshi, you can do that, right?
Yes, sir.
You can. Okay, yeah. Okay.
You can see, huh? Okay, yeah. Here, if you can see now, Egypt market normally is impacted by Middle East market or African market, and as well with the global trend. If you look here to the global trend of the PV construction and expansion all over the world, this trend for the global trend expansion is almost 22% increase in 2021 in compared to 20.
Yeah, I think his computer went just off. We heard the.
I believe there is a connectivity issue.
That's fine. Asim, tell us.
Yes.
Now, well, this is what's going on at the plant. So, okay, I have a few questions. Basically everybody is wondering how the systems are operating in the middle of the desert, right? Because you have a very high radiation, and so you can reach low LCOE, and you put the transmission line, and that's great for the grid, basically. At the same time, you have a very difficult environment with the sand, with I don't know what. So if you can tell us more about the different challenges to operate such large plants, like for example, even washing the modules, do you need water? What kind of resources do you need, and so on? That would be very interesting.
As you know, Karim, our plants are located in Bamban village in Aswan. Bamban is located in the heart of the desert. Bamban is around 60 kilometers from before Aswan city. The idea is that working in this environment, although you have a very, very high irradiation, more than the calculated radiation. So if a financier see it, wow, we have a very great business model. We have a very high IRR. But the idea is that you have a very high temperature also. So this temperature affects the voltage of the module, getting it to lower limits. Also the inverter in Bamban, the majority of developers procured from Southern Europe, I will not name countries, from Southern Europe countries as a manufacturer, because these countries may experience high temperature, but these inverters in Southern Europe can never reach 50 and 55 and 60 degrees on site. So not all inverters can withstand, in all the plots, can withstand this high temperature. So you suffer outage and unavailability events. On the other hand, you have a vast desert from all directions. So these vast desert make sandstorms all the time. So you need to wash the modules. On the other side, you cannot wash by water, because washing the modules with water will increase the rubbing on the surface. So you need to wash it with an air jet and a dry brush. We perform the water cleaning twice per year, but the idea is that getting the water on site is not that easy, because you cannot get water from the well or water from any source and use on the module. You should have demi-water, demineralized, because the module temperature can exceed 60 and 65 degrees. So if you have any minerals in the water will evaporate, and the minerals will precipitate on your surface. So from the technical obstacle we have, the environment is against us. However, we are trying to save the environment by producing electricity at zero carbon production, but the environment is against us, and this is very bad from the environment. These are the main obstacles: the harsh environment and the very high temperature. Otherwise,
do you see the water? Do you see the maintenance evolving? Like, for example, even twice a year, I guess, given the number of solar panels, and plus it's not only your plant, right? It's all the other plants. It's still a lot of water. Yeah, I mean the Bendability complex. You have many different.
Yes, but not this much. Not this much of water. Although we are 32 developer, the average in each plant is around 1900,000 panels. Okay, this is the average on the plots, because you are speaking about around 63.5 megawatt DC of installed capacity PV panels, but you are not using this much of water, because the manufacturer of the panel is not giving you 1 liter per panel. No, it's like a wet. To make the cleaning brush of the cleaning machine is only wet. Okay, not by dipping or dripping the panel. So you are not using this much of water. But the idea is that some electronic devices like the IGBT inside the inverter, the combiner boxes, the cable underground may not withstand the high temperature degrees we are facing in Bendability. This is the idea.
And about Sandstorm, do you have problems with the modules, like the sand scratching the glass, or even the wind or whatever? Is there any issues with that?
No issues till now, because the sand particles in Bendability project is like very fine, and the wind speed during the storm is not much or not reaching the gale limit, so you have no problem with the scratching. You have the problem of rubbing or scratching will happen or be occurring in 2 or 3 years when we are making the cleaning in a high frequent basis, because as you know, the degradation and the deterioration of the panel annually. On the other side, you need to clean the panels more to reduce the deterioration effect and the sand or the soiling effect. So you are performing more cleaning activity, so you are making more rubbing to the panel surface.
Okay, I see Mohammed, you're back. Maybe you can share with us now the screen again.
Sorry for my laptop is power.
Yeah, we heard actually some noise, so we detected that. Yeah.
So this is some fast market insights we did it in Montreal to analyze more what is the current milestones and the challenges in the Egyptian market. If you can see here, according to the global trend and African trend and Middle East trend, the average increase year over year from 2020 to 2029 to 2019, there is average increase of 17%. However, in Egypt, last 2 years, almost we don't have any growth in the grid connected PV panels. We are having this is a unique problem in the Egyptian market. We are having our own understanding about this. Why during 2020 and end of 2019 we are having a very slow growth for the solar market in the grid connected and utility scale. During to give you a small background about this, 2015, Egypt was having a big problem regarding power consumption. Our capacity for the power plants was reaching about 38, but we was having a very big problem about fuel saving to this power plants. During this time, government started to give a very big benefits to anyone who can support to increase and expand the power planets all over Egypt, including the renewable energy part, and they gave a very good target for this one. In the same side, government itself invested in another CCGT energy planets, and during 2018, in a very small recorded time, government has finished with Siemens about 3 planets with almost 15 gigawatts capacity increase already connected to the Egyptian grid. All of this capacity is now, and now we are not suffering anymore from the any fuel saving to our power plants. This is let the government think more about connecting more renewable power plants to the grid. This is, you can say we already reached some bottleneck for the oversupply. Government and electrical authority thinking more and more not to allow anybody to connect again and try to reduce this growth because of the epidemic of COVID-19, we are having not increasing in the power consumption, we are having decreasing in the power consumption. Actually, during last year, during COVID-19, our power consumption in Egypt all over the country reduced 2 gigawatts instead of increasing. So now to put ourselves in the government shoes, this is a very bad situation. This is force them to control the grid connected for renewable energy or any other solution. We are having on hand some almost 15 gigawatt wind projects already. Also government trying to freeze or making the growth and the construction very small. The same also for trying to get more tariffs, change and the policy for dealing with the PPA contracts. Like in you know in the ban started contract, they are using for the net metering about 0.7 EGB for kilowatt, and now in Comombo they are decreasing the price again instead of 0.7 to 0.4 EGB for kilowatt hour. At the same time, they are putting more pushing to the developers and the companies working for the solar investment in Egypt to make some balancing fees. Anyone who will connect extra than 500 kilowatt for the grid connected, he will have to pay more balancing fee to the electrical authority. As well, they will have to make a very deep studies for the network and the impact on the network. This is make everybody not willing to invest in this area. So now the situation in Egypt for this part is becoming very bad, because in the beginning of 2018 they were having a very good dreams about renewable energy, putting about 20% of the renewable energy to be to 20% of the global power consumption. However, at the end, this cannot be achieved. This situation, it is bad for the developers, for the grid connected. However, we are having some light at the end of the tunnel, because if you can see, In the beginning of the 2018, when government put their plan for the renewable energy, they make about 19 giga for the renewable energy or renewable energy parts to be achieved by 2022. This one still we didn't achieve. As Ayman said from a while ago, he is speaking about 50% only achieved from the PV target set by the government. The government set about 3 gigawatt to be installed by 2022 for the solar energy. However, now we almost 1.6. We didn't reach this target at all. We still having this. At the same time, Egypt is having that edge over other countries to work as a main hub for the energy. So, and government also is trying their best in this track. They are making so many contracts with other regional countries like Saudi Arabia, like Sudan, like Iraq, to make grid connected contracts and start to export our energy to these countries. This, by the end, if we return back after COVID-19, this epidemic problem recovery, we are expecting all of this plan to work more fast and start to take this position again and start to work to achieve this government set target early of 2018. However, but
Ahmed,
now, yes.
Yeah, just let me interrupt you. So, just to understand what you're saying, today, the, let's say, power mix is based on gas in Egypt. CCGT,
Yes.
It's CCGT and steam gas. And what you're saying is that we have already kind of reached a bottleneck because the consumption is falling, is decreasing. That I agree, but what is the cost of the CCGT, the variable cost? Because at the end of the day, if you're, because that's what we see, for example, here in the UAE or even in Saudi, and that's why they are increasing their target rate of renewable in the mix, because it is cheaper to produce solar or wind than burning gas. And that's why it's a no-brainer. So I'm just wondering, you know, if you have reached this stage in Egypt. That's number one. And number two, about the grid. Why do you have issues on the grid? Is it because of the capacity of the lines? Because at the end of the day, you see, you don't want to increase the kilowatt hour produced. You just want to replace them from, you know, the gas to solar, and you can, you know, have the gas turbines being flexible. So why do you have such issues?
I understand your question. Actually, it is very good. Okay, comparing the situation between Egypt and UAE is a little not fair, because that in Egypt we are a developing country and we are not so much rich like UAE to invest more in the renewable energy for nothing. Actually, in Egypt, we are focusing on the government as expected. The income, the country income is not so much big. They have to think about each penny, how to invest. Actually, Egypt, one of the biggest producer for the gas. So if they are using it, it is much better for them instead of investing more in another solution that cannot get the ROI within a very small time. As I told you, we are having three. This is fact already. Egypt developed in 1 year, 2018, 3 big power plants with Siemens. All of them together is almost 15 gigawatts. So this is fact. This is what how government think. They can develop more in the energy, renewable energy, and try to invest more in the grid connected. Once we can reach this situation of hub power seller, to sell the power, not to use it internally, to use it internally. Currently, our power consumption is not needing any more addition of power. This is a fact. No one can argue about it. But this is
I'll
the
switch
company. Tell me.
Okay, no, thank you. I'll switch to sorry, I'll switch to Ahmed, who hasn't spoken for now. Ahmed, are you here? Ahmed?
I believe he is not here.
No, we can see the name, but it's, yeah, I think he left.
Karim.
Yeah.
Karim.
Yes.
Yeah, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to add one more point to close my point of view. Then you can Ahmed. Once Ahmed is ready, he can join us. From our perspective, this problem is expected by the government to be solved within 1 year. Maybe 2021 will not be that good year for the developers to work for it, except for some projects that already government approved. But we are having a very big sector that we need to focus about it as developers for the agriculture and solar pumping. This is the main one. Actually, you know, in Egypt, we are having almost 100 megawatts expected to be consumed in the agriculture each year. And if we are having in Egypt a target to reach 3 gigawatt for the grid connected, we are having a potential in the market for the solar pump, maybe double of this target, maybe 6 gigawatts for the agriculture. Because the government is investing more and more in the agriculture projects in the desert, and all of this needs solar pump. So if we should during this year, up till the epidemic of the COVID-19, up till all of this problem we are facing in Egypt because of so many power projects connected to the grid, the developer, I believe they should think more about investing more time and more consumption in the area of the solar pump. This is the main market from my point of view for the next year.
Actually, I tried to join, and I think it's a good transition because that's exactly the question I wanted to ask to Ahmed. So Ahmed, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, cool. So actually, you're clearly very active in a market which is of utmost importance in Egypt, which is agriculture. And I guess it's also linked to water. And so yeah, tell us more about why do you see solar being everywhere in the agriculture? Why it's not? Is it developing a lot? Do you, in terms of price also, is it affordable for the farmers? Or is it still a little bit difficult?
Okay, actually the agriculture and the pumping system based on the private sector. It is small or medium farmers go to financial energy cost with the PV channel, and we do many projects per week. As usual, this is the market driven by price and not interested in the quality somewhat. But by the time we can discuss with the farmer and our customer, that's quality means also price, and we will do more and more with the trusted panels as Longi, as a different trade name of panels. Actually, the desert, especially in the south of Egypt and Upper Egypt, have a large area, and year by year, that increasing the share of voice for the company have a good project and have a good maintenance and a good after-sales service. As Muhammad Fayyad talked before, the agriculture is sector is the main
Can you put
proactive.
your microphone? We could hear you better if you have your microphone. You don't have it?
Yes, yes, I have it.
Fayad sir, you are on mute. We cannot hear you.
Yes, yes, it will put that.
I can disconnect the voice from there. Okay. It's clear now?
Yeah, if you can put your microphone close to you.
Yes, this. It's clear now?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, when we talk about the agriculture sectors, it's driven firstly per price, and then we can come and discuss with the customers the quality of the panels, as Longi have many benefits, as it's equal also on the price, and many farmers get the many or different type of panels as a trade name, and they have found to do damage and efficiency losing.
Sir, sorry to interrupt,
Yes,
but I'm not able to
it's
hear
very
you.
difficult to hear. Yes. And
It's
can you
very
put it
difficult to hear
close?
me.
Yeah.
Close more.
Ah,
Yes,
yes. Now it's
I
good.
swallowed.
Ah,
I swallowed.
wow.
Okay, not a problem. Yes, it's okay now.
Yes, like this, very close. When you put it close, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yes. As many farmers or many customer of the sector of agriculture and the pumping system, it's growing very marvelous and very good, and many company established in few months and can do more than 1 mega in 1 month in this sector, and this sector is need to upgrading and development of some technician as how to design electrical line and how to replace the old panels with the new panels to upgrade the pump from, for example, one have a 10 horsepower pump feeded by 10 kilometer station, a 10 kilowatt station, that it upgraded to 20. We have a problem in panels and its capacity, and outcome of some trade name of the panels have a less efficiency year by year, more than the performance curve will known from the each trade name and trusted, but some trade name worked and imported by Egyptian installer, that's not good at all, and we have a problem in these sectors, and this area of development we will take place set by the high quality as a Longi. Especially I talked with Longi before in the previous webinar, as he should, Mr. Flex introduce some technical advices about the replacement and the upgrading the station of pumping, because it is the future in panels in Egypt, as it is mega market, more than as my friend talk about 3 giga in on grid on our grid connected, we have 6 or 7 per year doing as agriculture pumping system. It's very important to understand the mentality of the farmer and the market, how to introduce the good quality and how to keep the after sales service to keep this sector more and more.
And about the cost, I mean, today, let's suppose I'm a farmer, and basically today, I guess I'm using a well, and I'm already using a pumping system, but I use diesel generators. Is it what you are replacing today? Basically, you're telling the farmers, don't use your diesel generators and put some solar system to pump the water. Is it exactly this business, or is it different?
Yes,
What's the
yes, yes.
value that is
It's
offered
exactly.
here? Yeah.
Yes, it's our business. We can replace the all the generators of gases to get solar panels and get a station to have no running cost. The farmer convincing very easy, and one by one project can convince all over the village or the city or the square of the agriculture farmer in the desert, especially, and the culture of the when to establish a new farm, we can to establish with zero cost from running cost with solar panels and the PV station for pumping system. Also, we face some many problem or area of development in this, as the old generator of many company can buy it from customer and replaced by the PV panels, and some company make it as a standby for the night irrigation or night working for this for this pump. Actually, as my colleagues say before, and Mashriq is one of beautiful competitor in Wadi Natron project. We have some project beside each other as a Sunway and Mashriq. We found the customer go to the price, especially then we go to the good quality and convince him how good quality equal price in the other side. It's a marvelous area and prospected to be the first market leader in when we divided the market to division as a great tide or agriculture. We use or we speak about the agriculture. It is the future of PV in Egypt. Actually, it's linked. It's not linked with the governmental issue, but it linked with the private sector. Can I hear Mr. Felix? I can't hear the voice of Mr. Felix.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, so I think Ahmed has made a very good introduction about the solar pumping business. Many people in the past thought that the farmers only want the cheapest product, but I think this philosophy is being changed, because all these customers also realize that the good quality product can keep long time and also can enjoy good after sales service. So this is more important. That's why Ahmed and other users are now turning to LONGi high efficient modules, because we can provide the good quality. And also one point that we always keep our product portfolio very stable, which means, for example, we launch a new product, but we will keep the current product for the next 2 to 3 years. And in case the customer have any problems in their design or after sales service, they can always come to our technical and we will support them to solve all the issues. So I think this kind of philosophy is going to be much more popular in the Egyptian market when the farmers know the value of the long-term benefits, which means that the solar pumping can be used for 25 years, not just 1 or 2 years, so that they can be able to appreciate the quality and the price wise. Yeah.
Felix, I would like to add one more point for this. Actually, our customers now in the agriculture and solar pumping, not a normal farmer. Not currently in Egypt with this a very big projects for the agriculture. It became an investment from agriculture companies. This kind of customers understand very well the meaning of quality and the meaning of after sales. So we should not think about it as a usual small farmer. It is not the situation. It is not. Currently in Egypt, we are having a trend of a big businessman working in the solar, in the agriculture area, and they are willing to have such caliber solutions and good solutions that convince them that their ROI is very good and they can understand this language very well. And we are having this kind of customers spread it in several areas in Egypt now, and the government already boosting this sector. So we should change our mentality. This is not a small farmer. This is a real businessman working for this, and they can understand very well what's the meaning of quality and what's the meaning of back ROI and fast ROI and the meaning of after sales. This is what I want to add to your word.
Thank you, Mohammed. It's a really good addition, and we also see the trend is that, like you said, many group companies also want to start especially the solar plus agriculture business, not just for the solar pumping, but also solar plus like wheat or solar plus other vegetables. So this is also a good combination, and we see more opportunities coming from Egypt. Yeah. So, Karim, if I may have drop one question to Mohammed or Ahmed and also Mr. Hassan, because I think just now many of the speakers have spoken about in Egypt, there are three categories of the business. The first one is the utility, where Mr. Hassan is very much expert in that. And also we have the rooftop, which could be the commercial industrial, and also the third category is the off-grid, which means agricultural or solar pumping business. So right now, every people, especially Mohammed, is explaining about the problems of the on-grid business. But everyone is talking very big about the solar pumping business. But still, I think here is one trend which I have observed is I'm sure everyone has seen the news that this one big project in Egypt, I think maybe in May, is a 36 megawatt, so off-grid project, where it's one gold mine. They employed one EPC company to build a 36 off-grid. Yes. Solar plus diesel plus storage project. What's your judgment for this trend? Do you think this will be more and more for the Egyptian market over there? If this is, I think this opens a new market over there because there are many such like gas or other mines over there.
From my point of view, still this kind of projects, this is already planned 2 years ago, and the growth in it will not be so much fast because the government is still controlling. So using some solutions, combined solutions, like a hybrid solution with diesel or hybrid solutions with batteries, is still a very good solution for the end users in agriculture area. This is actually our main card that we should play during this year. Till we finish all of the challenges of the epidemic and the low consumption of the power and we close all of the worries from the government about increasing the supply of the power to the grid connected. For the aqua power project, this is already planned maybe from 2017, and the customer is still delaying it, and it is not taking place as fast as we was expecting in the beginning of signing of this project. And also, as I mentioned, we already negotiate with the owners so many times about the prices. So still, I believe till all of this war is closed, our main big cake for this business is agriculture.
So Mr. Flex, please, you were speaking about Aqua project is 20 megawatt, or Joey project at the gold mine, which is 36 megawatt. Which project you mean?
The 36 megawatt.
The 36 of the gold mine with Joey.
Yeah, gold mine. For a gold mine is off-grid project.
Yes. This for sure.
Something different about Aqua Power. Yes.
This for sure a mega project, and although 36 megawatt is not either half a plot in Bamban, but this plant is very big because it has a storage. So the idea of introducing the storage, and this plant is around 50 kilometers from Egyptian-Sudanese borders in Shalatin Triangle. So you are speaking a very, very high temperature. So the main challenge will be how to keep the temperature of the storage low, because as you know that the commercial batteries here in Egypt are mostly the lead acid used for UPS. But if you are speaking about better efficiency and higher performance, you are speaking about the lithium-ion batteries. But the lithium-ion batteries prices very, very high in Egypt because it's not yet commercial. The EV, the electric vehicles, are not much spread. So the main challenge in this 36 megawatt project for the gold mine will be the price of the storage. They will need a competitive storage price. They will need a good compatible technology to work at a very, very high temperature. Here also they will need a logistics center to for the supply chain, because if you have like batteries serving 36 megawatt of storage and you have a fault with the battery, you will not give him money against the deemed energy he required for the lost battery. You should have a store or a warehouse full of batteries ready for his demand. So this 36 megawatt project is really, really great case study for the future storage projects in Egypt. This project will start the story and will be telling the story in the next 5 or 6 years about the experience and the acquired know-how of such project.
Thank you for the sharing, Asim.
You're welcome.
Karen, I think you're on mute.
Thank you. It's each of us actually. This was my turn to speak on mute. So Asim, because you are interacting with the utility, what's their view about solar and intermittency? To be honest, I understand that now that the market is trying to find somehow, clients where to connect directly. So you do have the agriculture, which actually it's not only a good market, but it's very useful, right, for the farmers and food and everything. Then you have maybe this, mining project, etc. But at the end of the day, you still have a penetration rate of solar in the grid, which is not very high, right? So and I can hear already talking about balancing fees and things. So what's the situation exactly? Is it because they are concerned about intermittency because grid is too small? Because why don't we have more solar actually?
No, in Egypt we have a big grid. This electric grid can take up to 56 gigawatt as the installed capacity for now in the Egyptian electric grid. But the idea is that the appetite. You see, Karim, about 5 or 6 years ago, the Egyptian government suffered 2 or 3 blackouts in 1 month. This gave a great appetite to solar. This encouraged the government to change the policy, to make new policy and new project scheme like the feed-in tariff, making new targets of energy like the net metering 300 and 100 for the small scale projects. But the idea is that at a point there were a balancing growth in the gas plants. As you know, the gas plants and combined cycle plants, they give capacity factor for 24 hours per day, so they can take a base load, but the solar cannot. The growth rate of solar and the penetration of the market was booming in 2015, 2016 till 2018. After 2018, no more appetite. We have our enough from electricity. We don't need consumers to go out from our grid. We have surplus of energy, not for ourselves, but for you. So you as a customer should take this electricity from us. In the past, you can easily install up to 20 megawatt in a rooftop project here. But for now, if you are going more than 6 megawatt, okay, let's make a grid impact study. Let's make an interconnection study. You will sign a commitment letter. You are committed to pay the interconnection fees, which is 20 or 30 or 40 piastre per kilowatt hour. So they tell you put the sensitivity analysis on 20 and 30 and 40 piastre per kilowatt hour. So a bit of obstacles are on the ground now because there is no appetite, because there is a surplus. Greater Egypt policy in the government that we are making an energy hub of gas and electric power. We will be interconnecting with Iraq, with Jordan, interconnecting with Libya, with Greece, and with Saudi Arabia. After this interconnection happen, the surplus will go down, the consumption of the base load will go higher, so the government will have extra appetite for the solar project and the solar growth and penetration will increase in the market. And this is the good thing. So we are optimistic that in 2 or 3 years everything will be fine. We will use more electricity, so will be more appetite, encouraging the growth of solar.
But appetite is also a question of price, no? And if I remember correctly, the first ever PPA sign were high, but that was only 2 or 3 plants that came to connection. Then after, voilà, 2. Then after that, you had the renegotiation, and then the tariff were in the order of 7, if I remember correctly, the 7 cents.
8.4.
Yeah, but now we're hearing new PPAs being signed, and what's the price now?
Less than 2.
Less than 2. So at 2 there is no appetite. I can't believe that the variable cost of CCGT are lower than 2 actually.
Yes, for sure, but you already has implemented or erected around 14.4 gigawatt of CCGT. So these erected plants should work and should get its own equity that you already paid, and also pay for the loans you are paying it with. So you should first of all finalize the payment or seal the deal for these plants you already implemented, then go for the new projects. In the past, due to some economic, I will not say disorder, but due to instability in the economic valuation of Egyptian market, you could get a project, or to make the project bankable and have a financeability. Here in Egypt, you speak about 14.8 cents. Okay, in 2 plants in round 1 in Bendability project, then it go for 8.4, and you had 31 project coming for you. In the future, you will have less than 1 cent, and you will have a lot of companies coming to invest in Egypt, because Egypt political and economical situation now is better and much comforting for the lender to invest in Egypt. So in the future, yes, you will have more appetite, but the government has already a surplus. They need to finalize this surplus, then they will come with new policies, with new project schemes, with new financing schemes, telling you come to invest in Egypt. This is the cycle of investment.
Okay, I see. So, Ayman, are you here? Ayman? Priyanshi, I think he left. Ayman left.
So he is there actually. Because so I would suggest you to proceed because he is not responding. So I believe
Okay.
he's not here. Yes.
Okay, good. So, okay, Mohammed, so you are a kind competitor, apparently, of Ahmed, so good. Apparently, you're fighting on the same projects, or what's you're trying to get the same customers, or so,
He's clever market analysis. He's a clever market analysis. Yeah, this is good. I like this what he took. He is telling the same opinion actually.
And so, what about the water? Actually, I guess Egypt could be one of the countries where water is an issue, no? And you have water for agriculture, but you maybe have some desalination plants, so which are obviously bigger projects. Is there anything going on on the water business, and solar can have a role there?
Yes. This is a promising business in Egypt, and using the solar energy for it is a promising. And who will take care about this promising business? He will take the good piece of cake again. Okay, because now in Egypt we are making a lot. As I mentioned this point, we are making a lot of agriculture projects, but not beside the River Nile. We are doing it in desert, and the water salt in this area, we are taking it as through solar pump, and the salt in the water there is it differ from area to area, and working for the projects for enhancing the water features to match the agriculture need. Will be a very promising business, and we should care for it. This is our opportunities during this 1 or 2 years in 2021 and 2022. This is what we can see very clear in the market. Each one will go to this way and will take this trend. It will be, I believe, 2022, you will see water stations enhancing features of the water in Egypt will be a trend. It will be very common to all of these agricultural companies.
Sorry, can you tell us what's the technology to do that? How do you do that? I mean, you get the solar, you get pumping, but then after that, what do you do?
You know the desalination of the water.
Yes.
Desalination, RO, enhancing for the water stations. This normally, if you are having one solar pump, need 100 kilowatt PVs. If you establish this in one farm, if we like this, and we need a water sensation station, it will take 500k PV modules. We will need it to enhance this water features. This is from the power consumption use. So now we should think about this, how to convince this agriculture company to use it, and try to find more suitable and cost-wise economic good for them and good ROI for them. But it will be real in Egypt. No one will avoid, because we don't have another way of giving water to the farms except this. All of this expansion in the agriculture, no way, except you are investing in this area.
And but it's not. Sorry. Yes, Hassan.
I want to tell you about this in different words. As I mentioned, we are having a potential for about 6 gigawatt for the agriculture project. If you are having 6 gigawatt, you can multiply this number by 4. But this is actually a dream. You can it's enough. You can multiply by 2 because not all the planet needs this high power during this time. But if you are having 6 gigawatt potential for the solar pump, beside it, we need about 12 gigawatt for the water sensation, for the water desalination. You understand me?
I think Engineer Mohammed Karim is speaking about the water desalination using the RO in Egypt as the running or the pipeline of the mega project, not only the agriculture. Regarding this, Karim, the idea or the main topic is that the off-taker would like to have only one SPV. This SPV coordinate between the electric power generation and the water desalinator. So you need to have a water desalinator and an electric power. The idea is that the levelized the cost of water unit or the cubic meter price assigned here is very, very far from the real price that the developer will pay for the water desalinator and for the energy generator. Okay, because the water in Egypt is like subsidized. So the prices the developers are working or making the exercise to get the best price in Egypt is around double the price which the off-taker would like to take the water in. So this is the main obstacle. So if we can find a way to get a very, very cheap levelized the cost of energy used to desalinate this water, we will get for sure low cost of levelized cost of a unit of water, which is the meter cube. So this is the main issue for now.
But
on
it's
the other
not
side,
enough, the 2 cents, Assem, it's not low enough, the 2 cents, because I guess you're already 2 cents is very, very low, actually, no?
Yes, very low, but you are speaking about the SPV, which will be a joint venture between the water desalinator and the energy desalinator, and the water desalinator and the energy producer. Okay, yeah. You have a part of the energy. We made this exercise many times. We found that we can speak about 1 cent, okay, for the energy generation to get the water as the off-taker would like to take at the subsidized cost. Okay, so this is the great obstacle. If we can find this, we speak about 1 cent to 1.5 cent per kilowatt hour. We can easily penetrate the market of the generation of the water desalination.
Okay, great. No, actually, I was talking both agriculture and that example, but also maybe drinkable water. Also, do you have projects where you have very large desalination plant for drinkable water? Actually, I don't know if your systems in the agriculture you can drink this water. I guess not, or can you?
No, for sure, because this water is salty and.
No, I mean with the solar pump and the desalination, when it's desalinized, can you drink it or not yet?
No, you should pass by a small treatment station to stabilize the chloride and the salts percentage, but you need like a small treatment plant, not a big treatment plant. Small treatment plant after the desalination, so you can drink this water.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, Mohammed.
Yeah, Karim, for desalination needed for drinking water. This is government also is having its own business and trying to build some stations for desalination in some far areas from the River Nile. We are having this in the government plan. But what I am talking about, this is the easy part for the agriculture, because you understand, for in Egypt, when we are going to making farm in the desert, we need to for normal المزروعات اسمها ايه؟ for normal parts we are needing about 1000 ppm. This is for the water feature, water quality. And in Egypt, in this desert area, that government cited these new forms, the ppm reach about 7,000. This means that all of this, they are having only two options. One of them to working with some plants that can accept this very high ppm, like oil or something like this, or to make a water desalination. This is they have nothing, no other option. If they did a water desalination to feed their farm, for each 1 meter cubic meter water, we need about 8 kilowatt hour power energy. At the end, it is energy. At the end, it is energy matter. So in this agriculture part, one time, because of the booming trend of the agriculture project in Egypt, they will need, if we already saturated from such plants like oil, all of this, Egypt already take #1. So no area more to invest in this. They have to go to other types and other products. So once they do this, the water desalination for the farms will be in need, and no one can accept. They will be forced to go for the water desalination. And now in Egypt, we start to have these calibers who can catch this opportunity and try to develop it. We are having this kind of calibers. I believe, as I mentioned to you, it will be a trend in Egypt in the coming 2 or 3 years.
Thanks. Ahmed, how do you finance your projects? You know, I mean, to be fair, I didn't, you know, I did have the view that, you know, when you go talking to farmers, you have also small farmers, not only the big ones. So I don't know if you have both clients, either the small and the big. But at the end of the day, what is the model that you have managed to implement? Do your clients, they need to get a loan from the bank and to invest directly in the system, or do you yourself, you buy the system and you rent the system? How does it work, the financing? Yeah, you're on mute also.
Yes, yeah. It's a nice question and a good one. We have different payment terms in our company, and we evaluate the need of our customer. And if customer have a liquidity and equity, we can direct invest with her liquidity in cash, paid in cash. And in another side, we have some protocol of local Egyptian bank to invest with this cost after have the credibility of the paper from the farm and the agriculture. We have some problem there in some local bank recently refuse many farmer to loan it for this project, as it's starting to how pumping system work, how the risk analysis of this project, if the customer can't pay the settlement, what is the solution? Reselling the panel or reselling of the component. We have many times from 2 or 3 years ago to illustrate and convince the big department in the Egyptian local bank to get loans for farmers, and we have trusted the component and trusted the project to be have a good ROI and financial revenue. We succeed in this point with many company and with many banks to have a protocol. Our company don't use or don't install for small farmer only. We have a small and intermediate and mediate and a large corporate for agriculture. But when we talk about the agriculture project, we can consider some problem or area of development we can illustrate to our colleague. Not all the time the price or the issue of quality is but we have to learn how to deal with the project in the desert, because some farmers have a worker with less BV education or technician education, how to manage or how to deal with the station we installed in the desert. This is one of major items can reduce the maintenance and the fixation doing with any interruption or any damage in the project. Actually, we look in the agriculture also with sanitization or desanitization of this water from salt, as my colleague talked before. It's a small amount of people or farmers look forward to the agriculture, but it's looking forward to the drinking water or usable water in any purpose. But we looking forward to have a big water sanitation. That's have we have one project of this toward Red Sea and Hurghada. We have a station here to supply electricity, just electricity, and we have the old technique for sanitization the water to get to the drinking water and get the drainage from it. I talked about this sector seriously need many things. Need a protocol from the government to support the company and which selects a good product and a good component of this solar project, and a good code of ethics from many companies working or major company. We look forward to SIDA as a non-governmental organization working for that, and we appreciate this work to do more and more in this point. As we look forward to have rules for this agriculture and more organized to convince more people. As we looking forward also about the minor or very small farmers, that is called what old agriculture areas. It's beside the river and the old village about the river Nile. It's need about from 5 to 7 to 10 horse pumping, as it is not depend on wheel, but it depend on the direct agriculture from the Nile and the branches and semi-branches from this. This is the future in agriculture that is, can be used to get a small pumping system for every piece of farm or piece of earth need to pumping especially. But the major pumping in this sector have at maximum 200 horsepower, but it's repeated every faddan or hectare. We can support small pieces with a small motor, with a small system, We can also look forward to develop this sector by floating station. That's PV panels floating on the surface of the water of some lakes and some pools in area. Can reduce the cost more and more and do efficiently and professional cost with professional electricity outcome. I thanks my friend sharing in these topics in this webinar, and I enjoyed your discussion. Thanks.
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 Priyanshi, what's the situation?
Yes, sir.
So should we conclude, or I don't know actually.
Yes, sir, sure. So I would like to thank everyone and thank you to our esteemed panelists for such an insightful session, sparing your precious time and extending your support for this event. And Kareem sir, thank you so much for moderating the session today. So with this positive note, we are ending today's event, and I would like to inform you that we are hosting a similar event tomorrow for Israel, and the registration link is there in your chat box. Till then, bye from our end, and please do take care of yourself and be safe.
Okay, so goodbye everyone. Thank you everyone for this webinar, and
thank you all.
Let's talk again later, guys.
Thank
Ciao,
you
ciao.
all. Nice to
Okay,
meet you
good
all.
luck. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, bye.
Have a
Thank
good
you
day.
so much.
Bye.
Yeah.
يفضل